Hi, welcome along to Push Don't Pull Rowing, and here we go with another guided workout. What I mean by guided is that I will be rowing, there will be a counter at the top, so you don't have to worry about your monitor. Okay, so we're going to do a 4-minute warm-up and then we're going to go into the main session. Look at the counter at the top for your time, watch me for the strokes, or if you're just listening to this, just listen to the sound of the strokes and I'll be calling out the tempo anyway. As far as your monitor is concerned, all you have to do is switch it on. Once it's on, press Just Row. And if you press the button at the bottom, that's the screen that you want. Press Change Units until you see the one that shows /500 meters. That's your pace per 500 meters. That's what we're going to use to describe how fast you're going to row today. As far as the machine's concerned, make sure that your foot plate is set so that the strap covers your bottom lace on your shoe. Now set the lever on the side of the machine. Depending on how clean your machine is, you'll probably want to set it around about 6. Just please don't put it up at 10. This is all to do with something called drag factor. If you don't know what that is, I'll post another video explaining what drag factor is. I just don't want to get into it now. I want to get on the machine and start my 4-minute warm-up. Okay, so in we get, strap in, and 4-minute warm-up. Now from the outset, try to think about how you're rowing. Don't go fast, you're just warming up right now. It's more important at this stage to get your body moving and eventually by the end of the 4 minutes to get your heart rate up. Not massively up near maximum, but just up to around about 120 ppm maybe, depending on how old you are. But then when you're thinking technique, this is where push, don't pull comes in. Rowing is a pushing and pulling motion when you really think about it, but the point is you're pushing with your legs and then pulling with your arms. The pulling motion will always take care of itself. Everybody naturally knows what they're doing there. There's technique tweaks to be done for sure, but everybody does pull in with their arms. What you need to think about is the pushing motion with your legs. It's a drive backwards. Drive with your legs, straight arms, and as the drive with your legs happens, the force is transferred through your straight arms into the handle. And that's how you go fast. This is helped along with a back lean. So you lean forward to 1 o'clock when you come to the front, and then you go back to 11 o'clock at the end of the stroke. So if you constantly go from 1 o'clock to 11 o'clock, you're letting your legs do the work and you're letting your back take over too. And then your arms come in at the end for the pull. So where you might have been told that this is an upper body pulling workout, you've been told wrong. It's a drive with the legs. You want to think about it percentage wise, 60% legs, 30% back, and 10% arms. One thing at this stage to really think about with your arms though, is straight on the drive, and then on the recovery, you get the handle over your knees before your body rocks forward. This is one of the biggest things that you see new rowers not doing. They'll tend to go, hang on, like that. Nobody wants that. It's bad for your back, bad for your stroke. You're not going to use your legs properly, so handle over the knees and then break the knees to come into the front. Okay, just over 3 minutes gone. You're probably not going to be as out of breath as I am, but then you're not talking while you're rowing. Or if you are, say hi to the person next to you. Don't do that. Okay, 20 seconds to go in the warm-up. And then we'll get into our main session. 10 seconds. Should be nice and glowing by now. 3, 2, 1, stop. There we go. That was an easy warm-up, wasn't it? Okay, so today's session is a little bit spicy. Faster than some of the ones before, but you should be okay with it. 4 minutes, then 3 minutes, then 2 minutes, 1 minute, and then 2, 3, 4 again. It's a nice ladder with a minute and a half rest in between each interval. We're going to be starting at 2k pace plus 12 seconds, then plus 9 seconds, then plus 5 seconds, and then 2k pace. And then we're going to go back on the other side of the ladder again. Starting off with the 4 minute interval at 22 strokes per minute. Okay, if you're ready, let's get the handles up. 4 minutes, 22 strokes a minute at 2k plus 12. And the bottom left hand corner of your screen is where you'll see your strokes a minute. I'll try and do my best to hold 22 for you. 22 is a bit of an odd one to get the timing right for. Sounds tough, 4 minutes at 2k plus 12, but actually it's very manageable as long as you get your technique right. Constantly try and analyze what's going on with your technique. Right now I know that my back is swinging back too fast. Talking too fast, I'm a bit stroke heavy. That's better. Remember, drive through the legs. Keep an eye on that split time in the middle of the screen. Make sure you're not going too slow than your 2k plus 12 or too fast. You don't want to burn out in the first interval. And keep thinking technique. Handle over your knees. Back going from 1 o'clock to 11 o'clock. May help to think about your shins at the front. Try and get your shins vertical as you get to the front. Here. That'll help prime your back into the right position. And it'll also help with the drive through your legs. A minute and a half to go. Which is 33 strokes. There's a lot more technique tips on the internet. So I'm not going to spend too much time boring you with technique. Especially because the more I talk, the more my stroke rate wavers. Hope you're still holding 2k plus 12. 40 seconds to go. It really is a valuable way to think about pace, basing it on the 2k time. Not thinking about calories or anything that's very waverable. 20 seconds. It also gives you something very measurable to beat each time. Last stroke, 3, 2, 1, finished. Okay, 90 seconds rest. It's your best to come to a full halt for these kind of intervals. You can rock up and down the slide, keep your muscles moving rather than stopping completely. But if you were to continue rowing lightly, not only do you not get the chance to really compare this as a session against a repeated time that you do it, but you're also using up energy that you don't really want to be using up. By the time we get to the 1 minute at 2K pace, you're going to feel it. So you want to make sure you've got all the energy in your body for the intervals. That said, if you feel more comfortable light rowing, nobody's there to see you, carry on light rowing, but it's more important that you put your energy into the intervals than the rest periods in between, especially as we move through other videos that are like 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, when you want to give your all for those 30 seconds. And then when it comes to programming the monitor and yourself to do these things, you can then compare the different times you do it, so you can see when you're getting faster rather than just looking at the split time on the screen. One of the things that live rowing is great at. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. So this is at 24 strokes a minute. And it's 2K plus 9. Oh, a little slow, here we go. That's better. Good thing about 24 strokes a minute, of course, is it's just a 1 stroke every 2.5 seconds. So as long as you hit the 2.5, then 2:20, 17.5, so you know you're going to be keeping in your stroke rate. Continuing to think about technique. It's easy when you get faster to let that slip. The sign of a good rower is someone that can keep technique even when it gets tough. Halfway there. This one should feel tougher than the last one, but not massively so. Try and get a rhythm to your breathing as well. So you can take a breath going forwards and a breath coming backwards. You should get enough oxygen in your system. "40 seconds to go. I hope you're doing okay. Make sure and hold your splits. 2K plus 9, remember. 30 seconds. "15 seconds to go. 10, 5, 4, 3, last stroke, 2, 1, done. Have a drink if you need it. On the slower ones, I can't impress enough how technique is important, that you think about it. Because as you get to the next two, when you're going faster, This one's going to be at 2k plus 5 at 26 strokes a minute next. This is when you have a tendency to lose technique because you're trying to get fast strokes and you're trying to put in the power. If you can concentrate on the slower stuff with a good technique, eventually that'll just become automatic. It'll be in your subconscious. What you don't want to do is sleep through your strokes, end up doing an automatic row, which isn't very, very good. If you're needing to work on your stroke, and then you have the spiritual bypass, as I've heard it called, then you can tend to fall into bad habits. Like I said, this is going to be tough to do for the 2 minute and 1 minute coming up, but for the 4 and 3, that are a lot more gentler, if gentle is a word, then you can really concentrate on making sure you drive at the front, get your legs past your knees. Just think about that for the time being. Think of 1 cue each time. Right, 10, 9, 2k plus 5, remember? At 26. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Bit fast. There we go. This one you should really feel that you're having to use big drives. It's a much more powerful feeling stroke. Upping the stroke rate will of course make you go faster. But leap here between 24 and 26 means that you have to add in some muscle too. Think about technique. Try and hold that 26, 2k plus 5. Minute to go. You're starting to feel this tough. Your stroke might be breaking up. So really think, drive with the legs, arms over your knees on the way back. .30 seconds to go. Ten seconds to go. A few more strokes left. Last one. 3, 2, 1. Stop. Should have felt that one. So this last one, it's only a minute at your 2k pace. Remember, this 2k pace thing is really vital, really helpful in understanding how fast you can row and your training parameters. Look at the website and eventually a video that explains more about this. So 1 minute at 2k pace at 28 strokes a minute. I tend to do my 2k at 32 strokes a minute. So this will give you an idea that muscle-wise, I'm going to be working harder to hold 2k pace rather than relying on my stroke. So it's a very good body workout. Whereas interval 1 was about getting up to pace mostly from the stroke rate. Now that we get to the sharp end, it's about your muscles. Good news is after this 1 minute, we're going back down the ladder. So after this 1 minute at 28 at 2k pace, will be 2 minutes, 26, 2k plus 5 again. Okay, 10 seconds to go. It's only 28 strokes, remember folks, handles up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, come on then. So 28 strokes a minute. There we go. 30 seconds to go. Just concentrate on your stroke rate, your technique, and driving out with power. 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cheeky last, and we're done. Hopefully it's helpful rowing along stroke rate wise with me to get up to these correct rates, but eventually learning to control yourself so that you can sit down and glide into 20, 22, 24 on your own quite easily is also valuable. Don't ask me why everything's always even. It's never 21, 23, 25. It's just the way it is. You'll find many coaches have slightly different ways of talking about intensity and what your training goals should be. This is the one that I've picked up from my coaching that I get at Fitness Matters. Is the best way to think about how fast I am at the moment. You know when you're struggling, you know when you're doing better, because you can see it on the screen. It's not an arbitrary 70% or a rate of perceived effort of 7, which you can't really put a pin in, whereas when you see 140, 145, 149 on the screen, you know how you're doing. That said, 26 strokes a minute, 2K plus 5 for 2 minutes. Let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 minutes. 20 strokes. 26 strokes, sorry. Now what you might find at this stage is that this feels remarkably easier than when you were climbing up the ladder. It's because all your muscles are firing like a machine now. Heart rate's up there, muscles are warm, and you're used to the pace. Keep thinking technique. I'm not saying I've got the best technique. I'm not saying I've got a good technique. Just think about what you're doing. Drive at the front. Try and wait as long as possible before swinging your back, which is my biggest problem. "45 seconds to go, almost. There we go. Hope you're holding your pace and your rate. Arms over knees. Back swing. "20 seconds to go. "10, almost done. 5, 3, 2, 1. Hopefully that felt a lot easier for you. Beginning to regret not doing all this as a voiceover. But I'm taking this as good cardio training. If I can talk while I'm rowing, it's going to build up my cardiovascular system. So I have to thank you for being here to have someone for me to speak to. 55 seconds to go until the next one. We're back down to 24 strokes a minute at 2K plus 9. Now remember 24, if you're looking at your time, is 1 stroke every 2.5 seconds. So it's an easy way to kind of lock in on your monitor. Good thing about looking at your monitor while you're rowing is it keeps your body up If you're just looking down at your hands, you're not going to be engaging your back properly. So if you've got your monitor at a good height and you're trying to keep your back in a nice powerful, not super board straight, but in a nice powerful position, looking straight ahead, looking at your times and your stroke rates, you're going to be using your back muscles more. Okay? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, so 2K plus 9 at 24. And we go. 1. Kind of experiencing that frustration with the PM3 monitor on this machine right now, where sometimes a second lasts 2 seconds and sometimes half a second, so apologies for an odd start on that one. If it looked to you like I wasn't hitting 24, hopefully it was though. So 2K plus 9 on this, remember? 24 strokes a minute. It's a minute gone. 48 strokes to go. Sometimes if you're feeling it tough, there goes my back again. There you go. Counting strokes can take your mind off what you're feeling tough at the time. One minute and a half, 36 strokes. A minute to go. 24. 23. I hope you're holding rate and pace. We're doing well, I hope. .30 seconds to go. Ten. 5. Last stroke. 2, 1, stop. Excuse me. Now, if you've been watching, you'll notice that in that last interval for me, I'm starting to get a bit ragged. I'm starting to swing my back way too soon because I'm losing concentration. Yeah, I'm breathing hard as well. But a lot of it's because I'm not concentrating on my stroke. So for this last one, I'm just going to try and concentrate on getting the back lean from 1 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Trying to get in, shins vertical, trying to engage with the flywheel at the front so I'm not halfway back before I feel that I've picked up the flywheel. Get handle over my knees before I come forwards. The handle almost promotes your back going forwards. It's the point of this, so that you're in that 1 o'clock position as you slide forward. And that's what I'm currently working on myself, is getting that right and trying to drive back before swinging with my back. Okay, last interval, then we're all done. 4 minutes, 22 strokes a minute at 2K plus 12. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, think stroke. You've got 4 minutes here of relatively easy rowing. 2k plus 12. To really think control. Control of your body, control of your stroke, control of your breathing. Might help to think about just one part at a time. So maybe you're lean forward, keeping that in. So you're in your 1 o'clock position. Don't sped up, sorry folks. That's better. Now think about your backswing getting into the 11 position. When you do it. Now think shins at the front. Vertical shins. Vertical shins. And now think arms over your knees. Arms. Arms. Arms away. Arms away. Arms away. And then finally, trying to hit the catch right at the front, driving through your legs. That's the key. Plant your heels, drive with your legs. 1.5 minutes to go. And then do it all as a sequence, or just pick 2 bits. So arms away, drive. Arms away, drive. Arms away, drive. "50 seconds to go, then we're all done. Whole point of good technique is not only power, but efficiency with it, and a reduced risk of injury. If you're flailing around like a salmon, you're going to hurt your back. Okay, 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're done. There we go. Thanks very much for joining me for another push, don't pull rowing guided class. Look out for more. I'm starting to get as many of these up as possible. This is likely to be the first one. If it's not, then either you're watching this out of sequence or I uploaded them out of sequence. Anyway, for more information on push, don't pull rowing, go to www.pdprowing.com. For more information about Fitness Matters and their rowing plan, which is where this workout came from, go to fmrowing.com. If you fancy doing some Facebook moves, then the Concept 2 Indoor Rowing Hub is a great thing to hunt out. Join that, chat with fellow like-minded rowers. And if you want to know more about indoor rowing in general, I recommend indoorrowinginfo.com, where there are links to videos on technique, there's a race calendar, lots of information. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for coming. Bye bye.